Hey friends, so this is my first soda bottle guitar, and I use the bowline knot, and I use the taut hitch line knot back here. So it's cool because I got to learn how to do some knots too. So if you have some help with an adult, maybe they can help you. And one of the things to make sure that I didn't understand right away, make sure that your PVC fits inside of a soda bottle, because there's different size PVCs. So when I went to buy a piece of PVC, I took a soda bottle with me just to make sure that it would fit. Okay? Now, this one is kind of the bass variety because it has a lower sound, and it has a lower sound because the string is thick, right? And then the next one I'm going to try the same guitar, but I'm going to use a kite string instead. So the kite string is thinner, and remember this is all about vibrations. The longer something is, the slower the vibration, the lower the sound. The shorter something is, the faster the vibration, the higher the sound. Also has to do with thickness. So if I have a thick string, it's going to vibrate slower, lower. And then if I have a thin string, like a kite string, it should vibrate faster, which means a higher sound. So I'm going to try that. But this is kind of what this one sounds like. Hang on, Sloopy, Sloopy, hang on. Hang on, Sloopy, Sloopy, hang on. Sloopy lives in a very bad part of town, and everybody, yeah, tries to put my Sloopy down. Sloopy, I don't care what your daddy do, 'cause you know, Sloopy girl, I'm in love with you. Hang on, Sloopy, Sloopy, hang on. Hang on, Sloopy, Sloopy, hang on. Cool. So I'll check in later with thinner string. Sound good?
In this video, I'll be showing how to make a single string guitar using only a plastic bottle, a piece of pipe, and a string. You'll be surprised how many songs can be played on such a simple instrument. You don't need any tools to build this guitar, but you will need to learn how to tie several knots. This may be a challenge for some of you, but I've chosen to use knots that are some of the most useful in the world, not only for building guitars, but for any project that involves rope. Learn to build this guitar, and it will pay off next time you have to tie down your furniture in a move, or hang a tarp over a campsite. These are the parts needed to build this guitar: a 2-liter bottle, a piece of pipe or wooden dowel that fits inside the bottle and is 3 feet or 90 centimeters long, and a piece of string about 3 times longer than the pipe. To hold the string, a groove is filed into the end of the pipe. This can be done without tools by using a sharp corner on a stone or cement stairs. And with that one insurmountable task completed, the body of this guitar is finished. All we have to do is string it up. This requires learning 2 or maybe 3 different knots, depending on what version of this guitar you would like to make. First, I loop the string around the bottom of the bottle and tie a knot that will rest about halfway up the side. I'm using a knot called a bowline or bowline knot. To tie this knot, take the end of the string and hold it between 2 fingers with your palm facing down. Then wrap your fingers over the other side of the string so that you've formed a loop with your fingers in the center and your palm now facing upwards. The end of the string that was between your fingers now passes under the other side of the string and back through the loop. Tighten this up, and now you know how to tie a bowline. It may take several tries to get this right. Don't be discouraged if you have to watch this part over and over again before you figure it out. This is how the front of the instrument should look if the string has been tied correctly, with the knot resting just about halfway up the bottle. Now we get to the clever part. Instead of using a normal guitar tuner, the string loops over and around the back of the neck, all the way down to the bottle, and back upward where it's held with a sliding knot called a taut line hitch. This allows us to tension the string without any extra parts. Again, I'll show how this knot is tied using a larger rope, so it's easier to see. The free end of the line is looped once, twice, then back over itself, underneath the other side of the line to create another loop, and then back through the middle. It may take some practice, but you should end up with a knot that looks like this. When tension is applied to this knot, it doesn't slip, but we can move it by grabbing onto the knot itself and sliding it along the rope. This allows us to stretch and tighten the line, hence this knot's name, the taut line hitch. By tying this knot on the back of our guitar, we can grab onto it and pull the string tight. This gives us a way to tune the guitar with no extra parts. It works surprisingly well. With the string now under tension, we can slip the lid of the bottle under the bowline knot in front, which will act as the guitar's bridge. Sometimes it sounds better if the cap is flipped upside down. You'll have to try it and see which way you prefer. And the guitar is finished. It can sound a little rough at first, but once you figure out how the bottle cap should be placed to get the best resonance, it sounds pretty good. Now, because I'm using a fairly thick string, this sounds more like a bass guitar than a regular acoustic guitar. To make a brighter sounding instrument, you need a lighter string, like this one, which uses a nylon kite string. To make a guitar with a smaller string like this requires an extra step, because the taut line hitch that is used to tune the guitar doesn't work properly with a string this thin. So we tie the bowline knot with the kite string as usual on the front of the guitar, but on the back we use a different string, a thicker one, to tie the taut line hitch. The extra step is that we need to tie these 2 strings together. We do this with a third knot called a double sheet bend, which works particularly well to join 2 different size strings together. The first step is to bend the thicker string backwards like so. Then the thinner string is poked through the loop we've created and wrapped around it twice. We then pull a little bit of extra slack in the small string so that a new loop opens up and we can poke the end through, so when everything is pulled tight, the 2 strings are locked together. Now we can have a little string on the front of the guitar to make a bright guitar sound, but a thick string in the back, which makes tuning the guitar much easier. Before I dig into some other ways these guitars can be modified, I'd like to talk about my sponsor for this video, Bespoke Post, an online outfitter for high-quality items for everyday life and for the adventurer. Supplies are sold as individual items in their online store, but most notably in subscription boxes that offer their contents at a significant discount. Every month, there are multiple boxes to choose from, and if you don't like what they choose for you based on your preferences, you can swap to a different box for free, or skip the box entirely. I requested a box that contained a Hori Hori style digging knife, which is a great multi-purpose tool, and also an Audubon bird call, which is one of the most memorable items I had when I was a kid. These are a lot of fun. I also ordered an individual item, this Opinel mushroom knife, just in time for morel season. Check out Bespoke Post through the link I've placed in the video description below. I think you'll like what you find. So now we have 2 versions of this guitar that are completed, and there are several more modifications that are possible. The first is to add frets, which allows you to play notes without remembering the exact finger position on the neck. This is very easy to do with zip ties, which can be slid up and down the neck to find positions where they make a correct note. Another improvement to this design is to lower the string height, also known as the action of the guitar. This is done by bending the neck. This does require one tool, a heat gun, to warm up the pipe just past the mouth of the bottle. You can do this with the string in place, if you're careful to keep it out of the heat. When the pipe is hot enough, it can be bent outward, so the string is closer to it over its whole length. This will make the instrument much easier to play. It's also possible to make much smaller instruments, like this one based on a 1-liter bottle. This is more similar perhaps to a plucked violin. I've just come up with this design in the past few weeks, so I'm sure there are many other ways to modify it to work with other materials. For example, I'd like to see a version that is just as easy to make, that can work with a cigar box as a resonator. Let me know in the comments if you build one of these guitars, and you can also send me video responses to the email address linked in the description below. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you next time.
Hey friends, so what I did, do you remember this was the thickness of the first string I put on? When we said that that had a lower sound, we said that things that are longer vibrate slower, so the sound is lower, right? And we said things that are shorter vibrate faster, the sound is higher. We also said things that are thicker vibrate slower, and the sound is lower. We also said that things that vibrate, that are thinner, vibrate faster, so they're going to sound higher, okay? So what I did is I took the big string off of my soda bottle guitar, and I put a thin string in. And just like the video, I put a thick string on the back to hold the taut line hitch right there. And remember, if you need help tying knots, talk to an adult. Maybe there's somebody in your house or in your neighborhood or a family member that's good at tying knots and can help you out here. But this is what it sounds like with a thinner string. Can you tell that's higher? All right, so I like this one. What are we going to do? Hey, I've got somebody here that's grabbing my feet. Who do we have here? Oh, we've got Linty again. Hello, Linty. Yeah. Linty just found a spot in the sun, so Linty's going to go snuggle in the sunlight some more. Okay. All right, what are we doing next, friends? I'm going to show you 72 homemade instruments in 7 minutes. 72 homemade instruments in 7 minutes. Actually, 7 minutes and 23 seconds. Are you ready? On your mark, get set, and go. friends, I hope you liked that video. I know that the instruments looked really complicated, but what I was thinking, it would be nice for you over the summer just to look at things differently, right? Just take a look at stuff all around you and stuff you see this summer and just think to yourself, how could I make that an instrument? How could I get a sound out of that? So when I showed you that video, it wasn't about, you know, you need to construct these instruments this way or something like that, but just turn your brain on, right? Start planting some seeds. So here's another instrument that I made. And what I did is I just took some balloons and I cut the ends off and then I put them over some glasses. And then I was playing around with, like in some glasses I put water in and some I didn't, and I was wondering, I wonder if that'll change the sound or not. But what I found out was the tighter that I pulled the rubber band over the glass, that really affected what the sound, how the sound changed, okay? So if you're gonna do this, I would still ask an adult for help, especially if you're gonna use a scissors. And I would probably get an adult's help to get the rubber bands over the top, because I had problems with this. I had to actually have one of my kids help me. So what we did is when I would put the balloon over, then we tried to put the rubber band, or I used zip ties. I tried to put this on and then slide this, and the balloon kept sliding off. So we had one person slide the balloon on, and then the other person put the zip ties on, or the rubber bands. In the video you see, I don't think they use rubber bands or zip ties, so I don't know how they did that. But got some pretty cool sounds. So if you can hear that. And you can hear that there's different pitches. It could be from the water. It could be that the rubber bands are pulled tighter than the other ones. But these are all variables. Remember, variables are the things that change. Okay? So that's how we do that. The other thing I found was kind of neat too is if you just pinch the middle and pulled up. Isn't that cool? All right, so I'm just going to show you a little video of how someone made their balloon drums. Boom!
Hey friends, last thing for today, just a cute little video here. Jenna went to the pet store and bought some crickets for her bearded dragon, Obi. Okay, so she put the crickets in this little aquarium, and then she fed some to Obi, and Obi was really excited, right? But someone else got excited by the crickets too. So watch this video to see who else got excited by the crickets. And then Obi makes a surprise appearance at the end of the video. Okay, then that's it for today. So what are we going to do tomorrow? We had some kids that sent in some links that they liked. So again, this whole week we're talking about what are some ideas for summer. What are some ideas to keep your music brain active in the summer? And we talked about making homemade instruments. We talked about making videos and adding different music into the videos. And tomorrow we're going to look at some links. And we might even look at something called Soundtrap. Soundtrap seems a little tricky, but I'm just going to show you a few things. And if you like to play with Soundtrap, it's super, super cool. Okay? So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Take a look at some links, some fun things that you can do in the summer, some fun games that you can play, and then look at Soundtrap. All right, friends. That's it for today. So just watch this little video and then have a beautiful Tuesday, and I will smell you later.
To die. Hey, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna whip you about something you heard. Hey, little mama, now don't you cry.